Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing episode 21 of Ninjago Crystallized, entitled A Lesson in Anger. My goal for today's video is to discuss this episode in great detail, talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between, and finally, towards the very end of the video, I will give the episode a score out of 10, just based on my own opinion. Also, this review will indeed contain spoilers for the episode at hand, you have been warned, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, A Lesson in Anger basically follows Garmadon attempting to teach Lloyd about the Oni form as the ninja desperately try to prepare for the battle ahead. In terms of the good, I loved all the planning and strategizing going on here. Without the use of powers thanks to the Venge Stone, the ninja need to find some other way of combating the Overlord. And as mentioned, the Oni form may be their only hope here, and I love how the episode explores that. Eventually, the dragon form is discussed as well. Master Wu does talk about how since there's an Oni form, there's probably a dragon form. It only makes sense, right? And like I said in previous reviews, I love when Ninjago characters theorize like Ninjago fans. That's always fun to see, and the training as well between Lloyd and Garmadon is also really entertaining. It just kind of consists of Garmadon and Lloyd yelling at each other, but again, anger fuels the Oni. Garmadon knows that. He's very wise here in how he's trying to train Lloyd. And I think that's the major strength of this episode, the interactions between Lloyd and Garmadon and how that affects the Oni form. I also liked how the senseis were kind of clashing here. Master Wu and Garmadon do kind of conflict with each other in terms of their teaching styles. Garmadon is a little bit more aggressive in his teaching, Wu is kind of more laid back and optimistic. It's been a minute since we've seen both Garmadon and Wu take the master or sensei leadership type role. I also loved how the ninja reacted to Garmadon as well, of course being on the defensive right away because, well, it's Garmadon. Also, there's some other stuff going on in this episode too. At one point, the new ninja get crystallized, and that's pretty entertaining, I guess. It truly is a case of you get what you deserve. In terms of the bad, few negatives here. This episode is pretty exposition heavy. There's not a lot of action aside from just the beginning, which kind of picks up the pieces from the last episodes. This episode is more of a recovery and exposition episode. They explain what's going to be happening, how they're going to prepare for the final battle, and it does get you hyped for the rest of the season, but it also relies on the audience to listen and get through the groundwork being laid here before we can actually get to that final battle. The episode also does most of the exposition by telling, not showing, which I think is kind of a disappointment. It's just not the most exciting way to tell a story, and this episode does feature plenty of moments where the characters are just kind of standing around and talking, with interesting dialogue of course, but the dialogue itself is only interesting coming from certain characters. Overall though, this episode wasn't too bad, just a few minor complaints that I had on the part of myself, but again, that's just my opinion. In terms of a final score for this episode, I'm going to give it maybe an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair score to give this episode. Definitely not a perfect episode, but not bad either. This is kind of like the calm before the storm, and coming up soon, we will probably dive into said storm. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave a comment down below discussing what you think about this episode in particular, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to my thoughts on episode 21, A Lesson in Anger. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again later. Peace.